What is up, Need for Speed racers? It's your wheelman Alex Cornut, and I am back with the A-Class RX-7, as promised, as delivered. I've been working on this car all day. I about lost my mind because I started changing the tune, and I was just never happy with it, and I couldn't decide what I wanted to bring you. So we get two builds in one video. So hang out, pay attention. I've got two engine builds to show you. It's important. They're different. They handle different. The car is different. It'll do better on some tracks with one engine, do better on some tracks with the other engine. So, like, just do whatever you think is good. Let me know in the comments if you hate it. Like, this is a middle-of-the-road A-Class car. I did the best I could, you guys, to get this to be super viable, and I made it competitive. It's not meta. It is not OP, but it is an RX-7, and it's fun to drive. So, I'm going to bring it to you. let me give you a rundown of how my day looked today. When you buy every engine for a car and then buy every part for every engine, it starts to get really expensive. I sold most of my inventory to make this work. You'll notice that every engine says owned. It's not by accident. So anyway, let me go give you what I got. So today, the first build, engine 1, is the 2.6 liter i6, the sport motor. We go into parts. We do the Pro induction. We do the basic ECU. We do the sport fuel system. We do the basic exhaust. We are doing the super screw supercharger. You can do the root supercharger if you want. They are the same. The screw's a little cheaper, but that's what I had on there when I got done with the build. They perform the exact same for this engine. You are doing the sport nitrous. For the suspension, you are doing the elite suspension. Not road, just regular elite. The road puts you out of the class. We are doing regular pro brakes. We are doing super grip tires. We can't put elite grip tires, it doesn't work. But you still get max traction with this car, so like, don't worry about it, there's no difference there. For the clutch, you're doing regular pro clutch. You are doing the 4-speed sport transmission. Elite differential. Guys, you have to have this differential. You need to put it as much grip as possible, otherwise this thing just slides. For auxiliaries, I'm running nitrous grip and nitrous draft. You're going to get taken off the line. So it's best to build that nitrous up and get them in the corners and start grip boosting and get after them. Like I say, this is not meta. This isn't like the best car in the class, but it is an A-Class RX-7 build that it's the best that I could get on this car, you guys. So just, if you love the car, this is a labor of love. If you want to drive it and have something different, do it. But don't build this and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to slay an A-Class. Nah, you're going to be working really hard for every one of those wins. My RSX, it beats this car pretty often. I'll win against the RSX, but it's a skill issue at that point because I'm working against the car for sure. For handling, full grip, 40%. Steering sensitivity all the way high. Downforce all the way high. You can play with the downforce a little bit, but you need to keep it all the way high. This car, it slides a little bit. That all being said, that is engine 1. You will end up with a A209, top of the class, top speed 153, 0 to 60, 9. Ignore the 0 to 60 time, that shit doesn't matter, because a good launch throws that time to the wind. Horsepower is 364, max torque 383, quarter mile 12.2. That's engine 1. We will now move over to engine 2. We have the 2.6 liter i6 equipped. We're going to move over to the new engine, which is the 3.0 liter V6. Look at the stats right there. The V6 has got 80 more horsepower. 60 more horsepower. I can do math. 60 more horsepower. And when it's all said and done, it's got 70 less torque. So we're trading horsepower for torque on these builds. It does a slower quarter mile, but it gives you 10 extra top speed. So, like, we're trading around here, shifting gears. So this one does a little better on the high speed rolls. Doesn't do quite as good getting out of the corners. So, build number 2, 3.0 liter V6. For the parts on that one, you are going to do a pro induction. You are going to do sport ECU. You're going to do sport fuel system. You are going to do pro exhaust. You're going to do elite. I love elite parts. You're going to be doing the elite centrifugal supercharger, which is funny because if you go down and you do some of these other ones, like it keeps it at a 209, but you just lose points all over the place. Like we lose horsepower, we lose torque, but it does a better quarter mile because you've got that instant. So it's like elite centrifugal. I won't go, like I could talk for days about this car. I spent so much time playing with it. We are doing sport nitrous. We are doing elite regular suspension, not the road. Takes it out of the class. We're doing regular pro brakes, and then we are doing super grip tires. Same kind of deal. We couldn't go get elite tires. It just puts it out of the class, and that sucked. Drivetrain's the same. So you're doing basic pro clutch. You're doing the 4-speed transmission. You are doing the elite differential. That's one thing you can do, guys. These parts remain the same, and all you're doing is changing the engine and the engine parts. So if you've got some money to burn, buy both of those engines. The handling stays the same. We're not making any changes. We're all the way full 40% slider, steering sensitivity all the way up, downforce all the way up. With this one, you can go down 2 clicks. It's the same thing. Like the chassis is the same. So the tires, the brakes, the differential, the transmission, all of that stays the same. All we did was take the motor out, put a new motor in, and it's a totally different beast. So 2 cars in one today. Take a look, see what's good for you. Like I say, we're running a lot of different stuff here. Second engine is the 3.0 V6. Engine 1 is the 2.6 liter i6. They are very different beasts. One has more torque, one has more horsepower. They have differing top speeds. They've got different quarter miles. It's hard to say which one's better because I was driving them both, and I didn't have 4 the other of these cars that is the same build side by side. So it's really hard to say which one's faster, which not. And I'm not consistent enough to be like, oh, okay, I was 2/10 faster. I was 2 seconds faster on this track versus that track. I just drove each one of them a bunch, and then I couldn't decide which one I liked better. So 2 builds for the price of 1. If you stuck around this long, please give me a like, give me a follow, drop a comment. I spent a lot of money in game and a lot of time on these cars today, or this car with a bunch of different parts to bring you something that is viable for A-Class. Disclaimer, it is not the best A-Class car. The RSX build I've got is actually better, but this is fun. It's different. If you drive manual, launch the car in second gear. It'll change your life. It's a lot faster if you launch it in second gear with a manual transmission. It makes the car a lot more viable. But 99% of you guys are all driving automatics. And so I don't ever bring you a build that you have to ride manual with, because it's gonna alienate a lot of people, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to be working on some manual tech to show you guys how much better it is. My brother, Dustin, he's basically got one that is awesome. He's not my brother, but he's my brother, you know what I'm saying? He did a build video today. I'm going to link that down below. Shows you how much better a manual transmission is. Keep an eye on that. Start working on that, you guys. Like, that's the meta. That's where we're pushing. That's optimal. So there's going to be builds coming which is like you need to drive it with a manual transmission because that's how it is better than others. Other than that, you guys, it's your wheelman, Alex Cornut. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Appreciate you all. Like, subscribe, follow, all the things. Come and check me out on Twitch. I'm live a lot. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.